I'm looking into getting into a little bit of coaching next year. The YMCA, Parks and Recs.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Well, the thing is, it's going to be a lot of headaches. I'm probably going to end up looking like my dad because of all the hair loss I'm going to experience.
I know how that is. Mine's going.
I just wanted to know, what's the best piece of coaching advice you can give me, going into coaching next year?
Well, I'll tell you, and I'm glad you brought that up because I've coached 2 teams at the Parks and Rec. I've coached, I think, 4 or 5 at the YMCA, and I just coached upward basketball this year. And that's something I make a special effort to. I'm going to coach my kids' teams, and we're going to do that. When I was at Clemson, I coached a YMCA team 2 years when I was there, and not enough people do that. But volunteering your time to coach out there with the youth, that's more rewarding than what I do. What I do is a business. And, I have people say all the time, hey, you lost. It's a game. Don't worry about it. I say, it's not a game. I lose too many of those games, I'm going to be looking for a job.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing about coaching youth like you're talking about. I've coached soccer, basketball, baseball, and it's so fun because you get those kids, and the best advice I can give you is just have fun. Who cares if you win? It's not about winning and losing. Although I always have parents come to me and stay and say, oh, well, the score was 22-7. It's like, you want those kids to have fun.
Right.
And, my goal with those teams is if they just enjoy it, if they see what's about the competition, the fun of being involved in a team, I think the coaches at the youth level who are all about winning and just the competition kind of miss the mark a little bit. You want those kids to enjoy being active, to enjoy being a part of a team, and I think that's where you grow. And the best advice I give is just have fun with them.
Yeah. Okay, I need your coaching advice on something else we're doing around here. We have a thing around here. We do picks, and I'm kind of struggling. I've lost my powers a little bit. I've just been having a terrible week. I mean, Mark Davis has made me look like a fool in this studio. I want to issue a public apology right now. Michigan State, I don't know what you were doing on Tuesday night, or that was Monday night.
That's why we're in the green today, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing. They couldn't have beat a JV team on Monday night. I'd like to issue a public apology to Greenwood on that. But anyway, getting back to this, you keep up with some of the local area high school, softball, baseball games. We got a big game tonight against Emerald, Greenwood High in baseball. Who you guys taking that game?
Oh, that's tough. The Greenwood High School coach, I coached his son. He was on my basketball team this year, so I'm going to have to go with Greenwood on that one. But I'll be the first there. When it comes to making picks, my assistant Russ Gregg is the guy to go to. I'm terrible at that. If I pick Greenwood, I'd like to see Greenwood win because he's a friend of mine, but I'm not very good at that. I can't help you with that one.
Well, maybe I'll go with Emerald since you picked Greenwood.
There we go.
We'll go with the opposite.
There we go.
I got a couple more questions for you. Getting into the Bruce Evans situation, I know you were probably good friends with him. Y'all were around the Lander program for a while.
Absolutely.
Just talk to me a little bit about what your feelings were, your initial thoughts were when the resignation happened.
It's tough.
Yeah.
When I got here, Bruce was here, and Bruce is such a great guy, and Steve Roberts is a great guy. I mean, those are some of our best friends in the community here. We're very close with them, and just had lunch with them yesterday. And it's unfortunate, it's part of the business, and those things happen. As far as the decision process, it's one thing I've removed myself from. It's my job is to win basketball games, and it certainly is not to evaluate what other people do. But for whatever reason, that decision was made, and it's all I can say is I've really enjoyed my time with Bruce, and him and Steve are such great basketball guys, and I've learned a lot from them. And we had a great relationship, whether we're on the floor talking basketball or we're out playing golf, because he's just as bad of a golfer as I am. But it's just, Bruce is going to find himself, he's going to be in a great situation. I just know that.
Yeah.
And you just wish him the best. And you're thankful your past where you were able to cross paths with someone as high character as Bruce Evans and Steve Roberts, and you just hope you run into him again down the road somewhere.
Let's talk a little bit about the new coach at Lander, Jeff Burkhammer. Have you met him yet, and what are your initial thoughts on him?
I have. I've met Jeff. Been able to spend a little bit of time with him. Don't know him very well, but I'm very impressed with his resume. I think watching Jeff May go through the interview process, he brought in some outstanding candidates. Everyone he was looking at, I just kept saying, well, this whoever you bring is going to do a great job because he just had great candidates. And you look at Jeff and what he's been able to do at Armstrong. He's got, I think, a 700 winning percentage. He's a guy who's going to win, and he's got some good pieces to the puzzle here already. I'm sure he'll go find a few more to play with him. But he's a guy who's going to do a great job. And anytime a coach comes in, Bruce did a great job with his defense and had some great sets, and I could learn from him there. I'm looking forward to seeing what his coach Burkhammer does that we can take from him, because it's anytime you have a new coach come in, you're very fortunate. You can steal a little bit of what they do.
When the men's position became available, were there any thoughts for you about maybe just sliding over there, maybe for one season, just to show fans a little bit of success?
Well, it's funny you say it. I had a lot of people ask me that.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, the only men's team I want to coach is my son.
Okay.
And that's the only boys team I have an interest in coaching. And I'm very fortunate to have a great team. I've really found our niche here, and I really like where our team is. And it's always flattering when some people suggest that, because we've had some success, but. I'll coach my son as he grows up, but aside from that, I'm extremely fortunate to be in the situation I am with a very talented women's team, and we're looking forward to seeing what we can accomplish. We'd like to compete for a national championship, and we're hoping we can get a little bit closer to that next year.
Now, recognize that people are probably going to be watching this in Greenwood, and even if it's embarrassing, what's the one thing people don't know about Kevin Pederson?
Well, first off, it's Pederson. But I get Pederson all the time. But the one thing they don't know about me, oh, geez. Probably that I'm the second smartest person in my household.
Second smartest?
Yep, my wife. That's probably the one thing. Whenever it's funny because you have a court, and I go where we're in charge. I think my players get a kick out of this, and then my wife comes around, and then you can see, well, she's kind of in charge at home. But I have a twin brother. I think that's something a lot of people don't know. I have an identical twin who comes to games sometimes, and people have been really confused when they see him, because we do look a fair amount alike. But as far as, I guess that's his. Given that my wife runs a household, probably about as high as I want to go with the embarrassment stuff. I don't know if I have anything else I want to cover this year. maybe next year if we do this again.
Okay, maybe next time. Last question for Coach Pederson, folks. What's your expectations for this upcoming season? What are you looking forward to? You got some players coming back, or most of the team coming back.
We do. We got our top 10 back to be better.
Yeah.
To be better. This year we were able to finish third in the regular season, win the conference tournament, and go to the NCAA tournament. Next year, we'd like to win the regular season. We'd like to win the conference tournament. No team has ever won the Peach Belt 3 times in a row. And so we'd like to be that team. We'd like to take a team, make the NCAA tournament this year was good enough. That was a surprise we didn't see coming. Next year, I would very much, we've been to a Sweet 16. I've never been to an Elite 8. And I desperately would like to get out to an Elite 8. And I'm hoping we get a little bit closer to that next year.
Kevin, I enjoyed it. You were officially off the hot seat.
Thanks for having me.
He answered every one of my questions, folks. I couldn't get nothing by him. He's officially off the hot seat, and this studio interview with Kevin Pederson, Coach Kevin Pederson of the women's Lander basketball team, is over. As a great sports writer once said, this is my house, but you're welcome anytime. I'm Jonathan Graves, and I'm sports editor for GreenwoodTodaySports.com, and I am out.